Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. In this video, well, you've seen the title. So for some context, I was literally forced to do this by my entire community, and it's Valentine's Day, so enjoy. How to get a girlfriend. Let's get into it. Alright, so step one, before you do anything that has to do with any girl or guy or anyone in the world, what you need to do is to look at yourself. Take a look at yourself in the mirror. Are you okay with the way you are? Do you have a lot of insecurities? You attract reflections of yourself. A lot of people that you get into relationships with will have the same insecurities as you, or the same issues as you, if not the same, similar. When you take the decision to better yourself, to better your mental health, to better how you look physically, you not only gain more confidence, but you also attract that same type of energy towards you. We call this energy vibrations, and you vibrate on the same level as a lot of other people, and you are going to attract people that have the same vibrations as you. So if you have more positive vibrations, you're going to attract more positive people, and the way to do that is work on yourself. Some of the big factors when it comes to this are confidence, mental health, happiness, humor, etc. I understand that you might not be able to change your mental health right now or other things, but one thing you can change is your confidence. Everyone isn't born super confident or super self-conscious or anxious. These things develop over childhood, often through parents and trauma and other scenarios that play a part on a day-to-day basis. But that doesn't mean that you can't make that anxiety a little bit more bearable, or you can't build a little bit more confidence for yourself. Something that helped me build confidence a lot was no. I was told no a lot. When I asked my parents for something, I was told no. When I asked my teachers for something, I was told no. I asked people out, I was told no. The more you get rejected, the more confidence you have to ask someone out or make that next step or do the same thing in the future. And by the way, this doesn't mean repeatedly ask out the same person. I mean, if you get rejected, move on to someone else and then try. The majority of people that have confidence issues are the people that never take the step they need to in the first place. Once you get out of that little bubble and you start asking and you start getting rejected and accepted to places, life becomes a little bit easier and you become more used to being able to take yes and no for an answer. It's really important to be told no, because when you're rejected, your mind gets more used to the idea that it's not a super bad thing, and this is going to happen in life. You're gonna get rejected and all you have to do is move on and try again. So going back to the confidence thing, do things out of your comfort zone. Go to the gym, try new things, be a better version of yourself. Meet people you don't normally meet. Ask people out knowing that they're probably going to say no. Ask your parents for things when you know they're going to say no, because what this does is it normalizes the idea of rejection. And this isn't a negative thing. Rejection isn't inherently negative. We just get super lost in our thoughts, and what happens is that we tend to perceive rejection as a super negative thing, when in reality it's more neutral than anything. Once you start building this confidence, everything else gets a little bit easier, and then you can begin to ask people out. But before you make the decision to start asking people out, what is really important to note is that you want to be an interesting person. You want your own hobbies. You want to have fun artists that you listen to, good movies, good video game taste, good music. You want to have people that you can understand. You want to have a good group of friends around you. It is so incredibly important to surround yourself with activities and people that you're confident in as well, because people will see those things and people will be attracted to you more often based off of those scenarios as well. Once you build up this mental confidence a little bit, you can also start to work on your physical confidence, which takes me into step 2. One of the biggest parts of physical confidence is your body language. It's how you talk to other people, it's how you walk, it's how you use your tone, it's how you come off when you're having first impressions. Physical confidence is one of the most attractive and important things in any person ever. And I'm assuming this video is primarily going to be aimed towards guys. So for all the guys out there that are probably telling me, but Specular, I'm not a naturally attractive person, that doesn't mean anything. I want you guys to hear this very carefully. Conventional attractiveness and confidence are not the same thing whatsoever. You can be the ugliest person in the world, but if you have confidence, you will meet success. Let me say that again. If you have confidence, you will meet success. Now, let me open this book up a little bit more, because we're gonna dive into something that is a very important thing in order to not just ask someone out, but be successful in life going forward. So when you were born, everyone has a set of genetics, and maybe you weren't super lucky. Maybe you didn't get the hair you wanted, or the eyes, or that super nice muscle construction, or that really good height that you always have craved. and maybe your metabolism isn't fast, so you're super overweight, or any of these issues make you insecure about yourself and make you struggle with your confidence. Here's what I'm gonna say. You cannot genetically change how you look, but there are certain things you can do to change how attractive you are. One of the most important things that people don't do is hygiene. Hygiene is so incredibly important. Things that are basic as flossing every day and brushing your teeth, all the way to using conditioner and showering, are so important in order to actually feel and look better. Not only that, but style is such a big important factor when it comes to confidence. If you dress nice, you will come off as more confident and you will feel more confident. And keep in mind, guys, fake confidence is confidence. Even if you're lying to yourself about your confidence, it still comes off as confident to other people, and that starts to become your reality. You can quite literally manifest confidence by telling yourself that you're confident, and eventually your brain starts to subconsciously process that as actual confidence. When you constantly compliment yourself and give yourself positive affirmations, what happens is that those thoughts enter your subconscious mind and you begin to find the positive in all of the things in life. You begin to notice the good things about your facial features rather than the insecurities, and this leads to a more positive mindset, and a more positive mindset generally leads to a more mental and physical confidence level. Alright, so going forward, I could talk about confidence for ages, but I don't want to get too caught up on the topic. I think you guys get the idea. Confidence is key. So let's move on to the next topic. Just do it. And when I say this, I don't mean just get a girlfriend. It's obviously not that easy, especially if you're watching this video. It's not super easy to just get a girlfriend, but when I say just do it, this kind of goes back to the confidence thing. What I mean is just ask the person out. What happens is you start to build up to something, and then you start to overthink it, and you get caught up in your mind, and you start getting these mixed emotions, and you never end up asking the other person out. You are going to get rejected many times in life, and what matters is that you tried in the first place. You are always going to go further in life if you try and fail rather than never trying at all, and one of the best ways to do this is just get rejected. Just try. What's the worst that could happen? You ask someone out and they say no, and maybe you'll feel really bad about yourself, or maybe it'll be awkward between you guys for a while, but the truth is that the worst they could say is no, and the best they could say is yes. Imagine for a second what would happen if they actually said yes. Imagine how excited you would be, except you're only thinking of the negatives. If you've worked on your confidence and you've finally built up the courage to ask someone out, just do it. At the end of the day, not doing anything at all will never be as good as trying. And even if you get rejected, once again, there's nothing wrong with that. Anyways, let's talk about another very important thing. Be yourself. I cannot stress the amount of times I have seen my friends try to act like someone they're not just so that they can get a girlfriend, or just so that they can impress a girl, or come off as some type of guy that they're not. Guys, this is the worst thing you can do. You don't want to act like someone you're not, because at the end of the day, even if you do end up getting a girlfriend, eventually the real you is going to come out, and you're not going to be the guy that she fell in love with, or even start liking for that matter. For example, if you constantly try to force a type of humor that doesn't suit you but works for the outside world, what happens is this humor is going to work for a while, but eventually you're going to stop using that humor because you're going to get more comfortable with the girl you're with, and she's going to start to feel bored because that's not the person that she really started liking at the start of the relationship. The person you were trying to be at the start isn't the person you actually are, and that only worked for a short amount of time. Now you're in it for the long run, and what do you do going forward if you just had this fake persona this entire time? Anyways, the next thing I want to talk about is a very important topic, and it is codependence. Now, this applies a little more to actual relationships than attempted relationships, but I'm going to talk about it anyways because I think it is important to talk about. Essentially, if you guys don't know what codependence is, it is heavily relying on the other person in a relationship, primarily non-platonic relationships, for pretty much everything, mental and physical support, and having more intertwined lives. It is so important to not be super codependent on anyone for that matter. You need to be comfortable in your own body, and this goes for anything, not just relationships, but imagine if you have a crush that you've liked for a really long time and she's your best friend and you don't know how to tell her. If you're super codependent on that relationship, then if she says no, you're gonna be devastated. But if you're comfortable with the person that you are and you know that you'll be okay even if she's dating you or not, if you ask her out and she says no, you will be okay. That type of codependence is so important to be aware of, and it is so necessary for you to maintain this sort of livelihood where you can be comfortable around yourself and you can be happy without anyone anyone else, which leads me into my next point. You should not be looking for a girlfriend because you think you need her to be happy. You should be completely okay with the person you are now. You should not be looking for a relationship in order to feel happy or mentally stable, because trust me, it is not going to work. If you get into a relationship with the sole purpose of being happy because of that relationship, your insecurities will leave a gaping hole in that relationship, destroying not only you, but your partner as well. It is not worth it, trust me. Guys, I promise you, getting into a relationship if you're not happy with yourself is not going to work. I understand some people are down and then they find the love of their life and they start to get super happy and everything changes for them. But at the end of the day, that's their mindset. That's not the other person. Other people can make you happy, and it is so important for you to be happy in a relationship or when you like someone, but they should not be the root of your happiness. It is so incredibly important for you to be content with your own life before you get into someone else's, or if they get into yours. Because if you're not content with the person that you are, what you're going to do is you're going to rely on the other person extremely heavily. And what happens if you guys break up or something goes wrong? You cannot depend on that entire person for your mental health. Nothing is going to last forever, and a lot of times relationships don't work out. 9 out of 10 high school relationships don't work, and this just goes to prove that if you're in a relationship, you cannot be in it because you need to be in it. I'm going to say an extremely important quote that someone once told me. If you ever break up with your partner, you need to be in a place where you will be okay without them. If you begin to like someone and date them and you realize that you will not be okay without them, that is a serious issue. Now, I know a lot of people say I can't live without you and this and that, but truly deep down, you need to be able to live with the person that you are. Alright, so let's talk about the next topic, which is interest. Now, I know what a lot of people are gonna say. I don't care about looks. I only care about personality. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, for 99% of the people saying this, it is complete BS, okay? Now, what I will say is looks can be a much less defining factor in a relationship than personality, but to an extent, looks matter almost every single time. And if a girl tells you she doesn't care about looks, she only cares about personality, she's lying to you, because every single person in this world has some sort of standard. This goes back to what I said at the start. You might not be genetically blessed, but the way you dress, the way you portray yourself, the hygiene that you carry, the confidence that you have, the humor, all of these things are going to put you up a little bit higher, and eventually you could be the least conventionally attractive man and you could still be one of the most attractive people in the room. And this also goes the other way, guys. You could be so conventionally attractive but have no personality whatsoever, and in this case we're going to talk about the other girls. You might be super attracted to a girl that's super dry with other people, and you might be like, oh my god, I don't care if she's dry, this is my soulmate. I mean, she's so hot, I need to be with her, and I need her more than anyone else. But I promise you, as soon as that initial physical attraction goes away, you are going to have a terrible time in that relationship if she's super dry with you and she has a completely different personality from you. So at the end of the day, you need to find a balance that works for you. Don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with having high standards, whether that's physical, mental, humor, whatever. It is completely okay to have whatever standards work for you, but at the end of the day, you need to keep in mind that if you go only for physical attraction, then you're not going to be able to fall in love with someone's personality. You're only going to be able to fall in love with someone's looks, and looks are only a short-term attraction. If you want to really be long-term attracted to somebody, you need to fall in love with their personality, and that starts with looking for people that work for you. When you start talking to a girl and you really like her, don't just look for her body or the way she looks or her eyes or her hair. I mean, obviously that might be important to you and there's nothing wrong with that, but while looking for that, also look for the way she talks to you, the way she laughs around you, her humor, her seriousness, her morals. Morals are so important, and there's so many people that I've seen get into a relationship with a very attractive girl, but she has no morals and it hasn't worked out. Personally, for me, one of the most attractive qualities that I see in a girl is how smart she is. For me, smart girls are always more attractive than physically attractive girls, and I will take that to my gravestone. One of the last things I'm going to say say is make your own decisions. You might be in a group of friends and you might like this girl. She's not like super duper physically attractive, but she has a great personality and you know this. Except you have a bunch of guy friends and they're all like, nah, bro, this girl, she's not worth it, alright? You can do so much better. Well, listen to me, man. They are not you. They don't know who you like. They don't know your experiences firsthand. They don't know what you're looking for in a partner the way you're looking for someone in a partner. Obviously, it's important to take your friends' advice when it comes to dating, but it is even more important to, at the end of the day, form your own opinions about the people around you. Form your own opinions about the people that you like, and don't let your friends talk you out of something that you might want to do. This goes back to asking people out. If you're about to ask someone out and your friends tell you not to, in their eyes, they might just be helping you, but at the same time, it is your decision to make, and while they can advise you, they shouldn't be your entire influence. Speak for yourself and make your own decisions because you know yourself more than anyone else, and you know who you like more than anyone else. Alright, I saved the most important thing in this entire video for last. Having girlfriends. If you view every single girl that you get into contact with as a potential relationship or long-term partner, then you are never going to have a successful relationship. If you cannot have friends that are girls without having the subconscious intention of being in a relationship someday, then you will fail in every aspect of being in a long-term relationship. This especially comes into factor when you are in a long-term relationship and you start making other friends that are girls. Obviously, everyone's boundaries are different, and in this relationship we're considering that having other friends of other genders is appropriate. How are you going to look at other girls as just friends if before you got into your relationship you just viewed everyone as a potential partner? I have so many friends that are girls, yet I've never once felt the urge to go after them or try to get into a relationship with them or make any move as soon as they have a breakup with their partner. You need to create a mentality where you're comfortable around girls without feeling like you have to freak out around them or get super anxious, because at the end of the day, they're human just like you, and there's nothing that special about them if they're just your friends. Talking more about this idea of being able to have friends that are girls, guys, if you have friends that are girls, you will understand the female gaze so much more. The female gaze is so incredibly different from the male gaze, and there are so many things that guys think are attractive but just aren't. And when you hang out with girls, not only do you get a better understanding of how girls work, you get a better understanding of what girls actually like, what girls are looking for in partners, what girls really want long term, and this is also going to help you find someone that is right for you. Now, this doesn't mean that you have to go out of your way to make girl friends just for the purpose of using them for information. You should be able to have girlfriends normally without any sort of weird ideology, and this is kind of just a bonus that goes off of that. If you have friends that are girls, you will gain more knowledge on how to treat girls. Anyways, there are so many more things that I can talk about, so if you guys actually want, maybe I can do a part 2 someday, but I don't want to make this video super duper long, so I'm gonna cut it there. If you guys want more advice, I really don't mind. I can give advice on all sorts of things, not just relationships. So yeah, if you ever want advice, just let me know, and I actually don't mind giving it to you. And if you want some one-on-one advice, make sure to join my Discord in the description below, because, you know, I really don't mind, you know, helping you guys out. With that being said, if you made it this far, make sure to comment the word advice. I'm gonna heart and respond to every single comment that says the word advice, and let's aim for a high amount of comments. With that being said, have a great day, everyone, and peace out. Bye.